Hello gays, girls and theys. Girls, gays and theys. Hello girls, gays and theys. It is time to wear my hat. Happy Pride! I love this month. Month of the gays. Well, to be honest, every month is the month of the gays, but especially this month, if you know, you know. This just in. Pride Month, the formerly splashy, rainbow-stickered, performative marketing event, is now being ghosted by corporate America and most other worldwide corporations. For years, Pride Month was a corporate drag show. Rainbow logos, window displays, and choreographed solidarity tweets. Nothing says we care like a polyester line made in a country where being gay is illegal. This came to be known in the community as rainbow capitalism. What is rainbow capitalism? Also known as pink washing, rainbow washing, or simply corporate greed. Rainbow capitalism refers to companies' tendencies to profit off of the LGBTQ+ movement as a marketing and sales opportunity, without actually making any meaningful contributions to the cause, and in many cases, actively undermining it by funding anti-LGBTQ+ politicians. It's sort of like being hugged while being quietly robbed. But this year, the glitter has settled, the rainbows have faded, and the sponsorship money, poof, poof, gone. Why? Welcome to the United States of America. In this sparkling capitalist utopia, queer people were market segments. Allyship was a tax write-off, and diversity was a bullet point on the PowerPoint slide right before layoffs. God bless America, where liberty and justice are for all, except during election season. Now, proud leader of the anti-woke revolution. So let's name and shame many companies, including Lowe's, Nivea, Dyson, Tiffany & Co., UPS, Disney, DoorDash, PepsiCo, Nissan, Citi, MasterCard, Deloitte, and many, many others are withdrawing funding from national US Pride parades. San Francisco Pride is facing a $200,000 budget cut after corporate sponsors dropped out. Kansas City Pride lost roughly half of its annual budget, and nearly 25% of New York City Pride sponsors, including MasterCard, Citi, Pepsi, Nissan, and PwC, pulled an estimated $750,000 in sponsorships. Over to our US correspondent for a snapshot of what it's like on the field. Well, Mary, I think these fag and communists had it coming to them. I myself, as a God-fearing American, am relieved my children will be safe from the homosexuals. President Trump, America's first real president, said we gotta protect our borders. From illegal immigrants and gender ideologies. I'm just a simple, God-fearing American. I believe in three things: guns, gaslighting, and gender reveal parties. I say good riddance. Back to you, Susan. Thank you, Frank, for that statement. And now, two bulging questions remain. Did corporate America ever truly support the gays? Or was it just a phase? And dear people of the internet, how do we, where's my hat? How do we make America gay again? So, let's be honest. We're fucked. It's true, companies are scaling back. Why? Well, obviously we all know why. It's because of the current political climate in America. They're just following whoever's in charge. Money follows money. So yeah, you know, it does hurt a little bit. But let's be real. We didn't actually ask for corporate pride. But for many queer people, especially young queer people, seeing a rainbow flag in the window, it mattered. It made people feel seen. I do really believe that it's important to always hear the other side and to learn about the other side's perspective. I think one of the big problems in America right now is that politics is so divided. And I'm really out of my depth here because I'm quite apolitical and I'm trying not to get involved. But this is one that I feel like I have to stand up for because I don't want to live in a world where we have to hide again. It's just, I feel like we've come so far, and I get that one of the strong arguments or a sentiment that I seem to see a lot is that a lot of conservative people say that your sexuality doesn't matter and it shouldn't be flaunted. People feel that sexuality is a private thing and it doesn't need to be displayed. I get that. I completely understand that being gay is not a personality. A sentiment with queer people, it's like, you can be gay, I just don't want to know about it, and I don't care. It's not so much I don't care, because I don't care would good, but I mean, I would love the response to I'm gay to be, so what? I would love that, but it's not so what. It's, well, don't tell me about it because it makes me uncomfortable. It's not an indifference, it's a discomfort. And that is what unsettles me in this topic. Let's also take a look at the UK. I had hoped to bring some better news from the UK, but alas, Britain remains the USA's loyal little puppy. You probably all heard about the Supreme Court recently defining women by biological sex. Edinburgh Pride's website only lists 5 corporate sponsors. That's down from 13 last year. London Pride has lost several long-time sponsors this year as well. And the smaller prides are really feeling it. Like Southampton, Hereford and Taunton have been cancelled altogether. It felt really nice to have a time of year where we could openly celebrate our freedom and everything that we have fought for. I don't think that this is something that can really be easily understood by people that aren't a minority. I came into my queerness at 23, 24 years old, so a big part of my life I remember not being queer. And I was so blissfully unaware of the alienation that these minorities, I'm talking all minorities, I'm not just talking gay people. And I had this conversation with and it was a very difficult conversation. Non-binary doesn't make sense to me, it's too complicated, I can't wrap my head around it. Why do I have to alter my vocabulary to fit someone else's experience? And my response was, I understand that it takes some getting used to and that it is effort on your part, but really when you think about the level of efforts compared to the amount of joy that you're going to be giving someone by validating their experience and their identity, is it not just worth it? I don't mind altering how I speak so that I can include others. If it doesn't cost me anything, why would I not help others feel seen? And that is what Pride is about. It's about giving space to people who are constantly marginalized and alienated from society. This is something I've experienced. I'm really struggling with alienation lately. As an outdoor queer, you're very rarely in spaces where you're actively seeing queer people around. So seeing that pride flag or seeing representation in a movie, it brings so much joy to us. I get that humans are self-centered. I get that you can't cater to everyone's experience. I understand that. But also, why not try sometimes? Why not just make a little bit of effort to make the world a better place? Anyways, now brands are just completely shying away from supporting queer people. And it sends a loud message. We'll support you when it's profitable, but not when it's hard. Because suddenly our lives are just too political. Translation, not worth the PR risk anymore. Now here's why I don't give a flying rainbow capitalism. It wasn't about rights, it was about revenue. Do you remember we got rainbow mouthwash, we got rainbow Doritos, we got rainbow vodka, not housing security, healthcare, or trans rights? Alex Avila explains this really well in his video, The End of Rainbow Capitalism. Corporate Pride Month turned the queer movement into a profitable market. It sold the movement back to the community as a product and completely commodified pretty much everything about every part of their lives. Do watch the video, I really do recommend it. Please understand this. Corporations are not our friends. They never have been and never will be. And here's the thing. Our pride is not for sale, and it never was. Also, let's remember how pride really started. In 1969, queer and trans people fought back against police violence at the Stonewall riots in New York City. It was led by Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, and they were demanding freedom. Pride was never meant to be a party with rainbow-flavored capitalism. It was a revolution, and now we're being told that our existence is too political. But it always was. And it always will be until we are free and visible and safe. Pride started as a protest. We don't need corporations to validate us, but we do need each other. So here is how you can show up this year. You can support queer-owned businesses, you can donate to mutual aid funds, you can volunteer, you can uplift trans voices, you can buy from queer artists, you can start a conversation with your family, which is way easier said than done. Having these conversations with friends and family is not easy, but it's important because this is how change happens. And show up to Pride, even if it's smaller this year. Show up for your community, not just when it's easy, but when it counts. And this goes for you too, allies. Show up for Pride. I think now it's really important to show up. And I've been feeling some type of way about everything that's happening. I'm sure many queer people out there relate. I don't even live in the States. I'm like lost in the French Alps right now, which is lonely in its own right. I have actually met some queer people though. Well, met one queer person, so that was exciting. I'm a little bit sad because I won't be around for Pride this year, but I'm going to be celebrating in the mountains by myself. And it's such a hard topic, I hate talking about it, which is why I'm doing this whole YouTube thing. It's because I feel like I need an outlet, and I need to feel like I'm not alone in this, because I feel so alone, guys. Oh my god, the loneliness that I have felt around my sexuality is disgusting. I am so over it, and I've done other videos about loneliness. I'll share them here and here, but I understand that sometimes you don't want to show up. It's hard to show up, it really is. Sometimes I just don't even want to be visible. I don't know what the answer is. I also just want to share a message and say to my fellow queers that I'm sorry, because I know that this is a really weird time, especially for my American queer counterparts. I don't really know which direction we're heading in, but I do know one thing, which is that community is everything, and we really need to stay together. I am going to work hard to stay visible and to fight for what I believe in from afar. Corporations honestly never cared about queer activism and rights. So really, we're going back to the soul and origin of what Pride Parade is all about. And I'm quite excited about that. I am very sad about the lack of funding to organizations that actually helped and prevented suicide in LGBT youth, because I think that is really the saddest part of all this. But let's stand up for each other. I think now more than ever, it's important to just be there for each other. I don't think that we need corporation to validate us. We validate ourselves, guys. Let the brands back out. We are not going anywhere. So, guys, to close this segment, happy Pride. Stay loud, stay proud, and never stop showing up.